Right now, as you watch this, someone is draining Bitcoin out of hardware wallets that were sold as unhackable. The count has passed $114 million. It has not stopped. And the worst part is that most of the victims did everything right. Cold storage, offline device, the gold standard of self-custody. In the next few minutes, I will show you exactly how this happened. And before this video ends, you will know exactly how to check if your coins are exposed and what to do about it tonight. Quick context, 30 seconds. Coldcard, made by a company called CoinKite, is one of the most respected hardware wallets in Bitcoin. It is the device the hardcore self-custody crowd recommends. Air-gapped, open source, battle-tested. That reputation is exactly why this story matters. Since late last week, attackers have been sweeping coins out of Coldcard-generated wallets in waves. At least 4 separate sweeps so far. The wave on Tuesday alone pulled roughly 449 Bitcoin out of more than 700 addresses. CoinKite's official advisory says, quote, "Please treat this as urgent. Migrate your funds." When the manufacturer itself tells you to get your money out, you listen. Here's the shape of it, the flaw, the damage, and the fix. The fix is the part you cannot afford to skip, so stay with me. First, the flaw. This was not a hack of the Bitcoin network, and nobody broke the cryptography. The vulnerability is a firmware bug that has been sitting dormant since 2021. When certain Coldcard devices generated a new wallet, the random number generation was weaker than it should have been. Not obviously broken, just not random enough. Low entropy in security language, which means the so-called impossible odds of guessing a seed phrase collapsed into something a well-funded attacker could actually brute force. Someone appears to have quietly rebuilt those weak keys at scale, and once you hold the keys, you do not need the device. You do not need physical access. You just sign transactions from anywhere on Earth, and the network treats you as the rightful owner. That is the brutal elegance of it. On-chain, these thefts look like ordinary withdrawals. Second, the damage. The confirmed tally is around $114 million, and some outlets tracking additional addresses put it above $130 million. 4 sweeps and counting still active as of Tuesday night, and the timing could not be worse because Bitcoin was already limping. While global stock markets hit record highs this week, Bitcoin sat around $64,000, basically flat. Spot Bitcoin ETFs have bled $5.4 billion in net outflows in the first half of this year. Tether's market cap has shrunk by $4 billion in 60 days. The institutional bid is leaking, retail attention has rotated to AI, and now the flagship self-custody device is on fire in public. Here is the structural read, because this is important. This is not a Bitcoin failure. The protocol did exactly what it was designed to do. This is a supply chain trust failure, one vendor's firmware bug. But markets do not price nuance, they price trust. And the entire value proposition of Bitcoin, be your own bank, just took a very public hit at the worst possible moment. Third, the fix. This is the payoff, so listen carefully. Step 1, identify your device. The affected models are the Mark III on firmware 4.0.1 or later, and the Mark IV, Mark V, and Q models running firmware older than 5.6.0 or 1.5.0 for the Q. Step 2, and this is the counterintuitive part, do not just update the firmware and relax. If your seed was generated by an affected device, the seed itself may be weak. Updating firmware does not fix a weak seed. You need to update, generate a completely new seed, and move your coins to the new wallet. A migration, not a patch. Step 3, one important exception. If you created your wallet using the dice roll option, physically rolling dice 50 or more times to generate your own randomness, your seed came from your hands, not from the buggy code. Those wallets are safe. And step 4, if you hold any hardware wallet from any vendor, tonight is the night you check the official advisory from the company's own website, not from a link someone sends you. Phishing crews are already circling this story, and the second wave of victims in every hack is always the people who clicked a fake rescue link. So here's the financial angle, and remember, this is analysis, not financial advice. Self-custody is still the honest answer to exchange risk. We all watched exchanges vaporize customer funds, and nothing about this week changes that math. But this week proved that self-custody is a skill, not a purchase. You cannot buy your way out of responsibility with a $200 device. The people who rolled dice are fine. The people who trusted the button are the victims. That difference, 30 seconds of dice rolling, is now worth $114 million. Which brings me to the question I cannot answer for you. If the most respected hardware wallet in the industry can silently fail for 5 years, is self-custody actually safer than the institutions it was built to replace? Or just differently dangerous? I want your honest read in the comments, especially if you run cold storage yourself. Blue pill. This is one vendor, one bug already patched. Update, migrate, move on. The system worked because the flaw was found and disclosed. Red pill. Every hardware wallet is a black box you are trusting with your life savings. Audits only find what auditors look for. And the honest lesson is that trust minimization was always a spectrum, never a switch. Neither answer is stupid. Pick the one you can defend, and either way, do the firmware check tonight. We drop 3 briefs every day. Macro at 7, crypto at 9, and AI at 11 Eastern Time. Today's AI brief is a wild one. Google's entire AI command structure changed hands in a single day, and the stock did not like it. That is at 11. The timeline keeps moving. We will see you in the next one.